when you are 50 something, 60 something, that is the time that all those uncle aunties sit down. Then they started asking each other, hey, how's your insurance? Are they still covering this?
So actually, this make me think of one thing is about human behavior. We got terms we call it FOMO, the fear of missing out. You know, whatever the person have, I also want to have. But how many times, right, do you know that person like, hey, he just upgrades his insurance coverage? I also want to upgrade.
Possible to happen. People who below 40 years old, no one talk about insurance during your hangout one. You talk about anything. You talk about branded, you talk about phone, you talk about work, but you will never talk about insurance. But guess what? When you are 50 something, 60 something, that is the time that all those uncle aunties sit down. Then they started asking each other, hey, how's your insurance? Are they still covering this? How much is the coverage? How much you are paying right now? Wow, now the price increased already. Because that is the time that they know they need it.
Yeah. So I think even current in my social circle, right, we hardly talk about it. Of course, me doing my job, we trying my very best to discuss about it from time to time. Of course, it felt a bit awkward at the time, but slowly it can become a habit. I also don't understand why, because we have so much real life example in front of us. Today you scroll through Facebook, you see some video of people asking for donation through newspaper on Facebook, and then maybe people around us. Yet we still refrain ourselves from talking about this. We did not review our policy often. Like, Seth, do you review your own policy?
Before I became agent, I don't. But I do have a very simplified Excel that I forced my agent to do it for me. I was like, can you just help me to put in everything inside here so that it's very simplified, and then I can always check it back. Because for me to read the policy back then, before I became an insurance agent, it's so hectic. It's so many things I don't understand. So I have this very small table of Excel where it's in my financial planning, my own personal financial planning. So I know for medical how much I was covered, how much I'm paying in a year in total, and if I pass away, how much my parents will receive, and if I was diagnosed with anything critical illness, how much I will be able to receive. I never changed that. And even when my agent approached me to review again, I would tell her that, I said, is there any changes? There's no changes, right? I would just copy the table and then I'll just send back to her in the WhatsApp. And she's like, yeah, it's like this. Then I lost the opportunity to upgrade my policy along the year, because every year, whenever she asked me whether or not to review my policy, I say no.